project is titled River Sea, and the text itself is a series of blues stories. And in these blues stories, C, S-E-E, tells us about her community, her family history, her ancestors, and her soul's journey. An actor tells the story as C in performance, and live in performance, I compose what I call a moving soundscape with using an improvisational process that includes singers, actors, musicians, and the audience. I feel like this piece is me moving into a new phase in my artistic life and into my life as a growing, spirit-seeking human being. I feel that this piece combines my training and my experiences as a facilitator, as a writer, as a theatrical jazz practitioner, as a community member, and as someone interested in using art as a vehicle for social justice. So I feel like it's kind of like all the roads came together with this piece, and I'm kind of playing with what I know and discovering something new. And I'm really grateful to have been supported, deeply supported, by 5 commissioning communities as I have played with and experimented with and discovered how to bring this piece to life. I started writing when I was 15. I always read a lot. And I started writing myself when I was 15. And I kept those pieces in a suitcase. I had a couple of suitcases full of work that I never shared. But when I was 30, I moved from Los Angeles to Austin, Texas. And Austin is a very small town. It's very international. It's filled with artists. And I just kind of fell in with a group of artists that were activists. And so I was trained by very seasoned, very internationally focused artists who were using art as a vehicle for social justice. So I was encouraged and nurtured to try using art as service. And so my day job at the time was in social services. So I worked for Planned Parenthood. I worked for the health department. I was with the first wave of HIV outreach educators, activists, testers, and early intervention specialists. And to get people to access services, we used art. And after a while, I realized that I couldn't continue to grow as an artist and have 4 or 5 jobs doing all that work. As fun as it was and as important as it was. And so at some point it kind of flipped, and I started living full-time as an artist and using my community organizing skills in my vision of how I imagined work living. River Sea has been supported by the National Performance Network Commissioning Fund, with 5 presenters that include Diaspora Vibe Miami, hey, Rosie Gordon-Wallace, Lynx Hall in Chicago, the Theater Offensive in Boston, Pillsbury House Theater in Minneapolis, and Living Arts Tulsa in Tulsa. And so those are the commissioners. And so in the development process, I've returned many times to each of those communities, developing the script and also developing the method for bringing this idea to life, and then also connecting with community and artists, because myself and the actor that plays C are the touring party, and when we arrive in the commissioning cities, we work with local artists to put the show up. And so these commissioners, all of them except one, I've never worked with the Living Arts Tulsa before, but the other commissioners I have long relationships with and have worked in different capacities with. And I think it is those relationships that allow for an, I don't know, I guess, allow for and really expand what's possible. And so for instance, with Pillsbury House Theater in Minneapolis, I've worked with them since 2002, but this is the first time that they have commissioned me. So it's like what the relationships look like, you know, are ever changing and expanding. But the bottom line is we've been in long conversation, and I'm so grateful. Oh, my favorite book of all time is The Warmth of Other Suns by Isabel Wilkerson. That is my favorite book of all time. And then I have a ton of, I'm sorry, I can't just pick one. I'm going to stop, though. I'm going to just tell you Walter Mosley. I love Walter Mosley. Hong's, Rosie Gordon Wallace's Sons group. I was just listening to that this morning. I love Sade. I love Laura Mvula. I love India Ari. I adore Duke Ellington. I love Mary Lou Williams. Okay, uh-oh, you better stop me. I got to give a shout out. Shorty Trombone from New Orleans has a special place in my heart. Trombone Shorty. I said it wrong. Trombone Shorty. See, I'm new to his music. I just found him out at the Jazz Festival earlier this month. Wura Ogunji. Walter Katundu is one of my favorite artists, and I'm going to have to say Grisha Coleman. Okay, okay, again, you're going to have to stop me. But Grisha Coleman, that's who I have to say. And Grisha used to be with Urban Bushwomen, and she also had her own touring company called Hot Mouth. And then she went to Cal Arts and graduated with the MFA in music and came out doing these just like scientific, dance-based, experimental, technified, huge projects that look at what she calls ecosystems. She's a genius. Thank you. Thank you. I appreciate it.